Hi. Welcome into the fastest scoop that the world has ever seen. We have about 16 minutes to go through 5 stories. This is going to take some fucking doing. So without any further ado, I'm going to go straight into things. Hi, my name is Graham. Hey, this is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is the Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. I usually go through a load of stuff about how we bring you the biggest, the best, and break stories and our impressions and stuff like that. If you want to see the full intro, just check out any of the other broadcasts where we don't have just 16 minutes to go through the news, but we do bring you all of that stuff. Some giveaways, some stuff from our sponsors, and all of the other cool stuff, which you can see all over our channel, because we love our sponsors and you guys and everything else that you do, including supporting the stream, which is why we do giveaways like the loot drop each and every single month. But for now, we are going to jump straight into the split screen so we can get straight into the news. Hi, Bib.
Hi, Graham.
We have a few stories today, kicking off with Fortnite. But don't worry if you're not a Fortnite player. There's a lot of people in the pre-show that we've been talking about EA Sports FC 24. That is the second story of the day, so do stick around as we talk about that. Then we'll talk about TwitchCon, or more specifically Las Vegas, and the Sphere that we spoke about on Friday, how it went all Xbox. Well, PlayStation have had a turn. And then we'll talk about Nintendo being the best place in the world to work, as credited by Nintendo. Did I say Xbox? Nintendo being the best place to work, as told by Nintendo. Funnily enough, that Nintendo think they're the best place. That is great. Okay, but first, Mr. Bibb, would you want to hear about Fortnite?
I would love to.
Nice. Okay. Jackie ARIAS, that's a new one over at Game Rant says, rumor, Fortnite could be removing zero build soon, and then in imaginary brackets because it's not in the article. And also Bibby and Graham from Fortnite. Oh, no. Goddamn. So Fortnite is reportedly removing the fan-favourite zero build mode in its next update. And players, brackets, Graham and Bibby, close brackets, aren't happy about the news. So, do you know what? I'm going to stop, because this is something we don't get to do very often, because not many sites do it. A lot of sites want you on their site longer for ad revenue and this, that, and the other. But what Game Rant does is give you the highlights as a few bullet points at the top. So I'm not going to read the article. I'll go through the bullet points. And if you want to read the article, you can do that yourself over at Game Rant. But the highlights are, rumor has it, Epic Games plans to remove zero build from Fortnite, a feature that allows players to focus on gunplay without building structures. The mode was originally added due to player requests and was initially believed to be temporary, but became permanent. Some players are disappointed by the potential removal, while others see it as a return to Fortnite's original gameplay. It may pose a learning curve for casual players accustomed to other Battle Royale games. And there we go. Okay, Mr. Bibb, you play a lot of Fortnite, and when you do, it's almost exclusively zero build.
Yeah.
Would zero build being removed, would that remove you from Fortnite?
Do you know what? I think it would. I'm just not very good at building. I tolerated it because there was never any idea that we was going to get zero build at any point. It was always a nice idea. People say I'll probably play it a lot more if zero build was there, but yeah, the fact that might end up disappearing. It could just be an event where it ends up disappearing for a couple of weeks or something like that, or it might go into a rotation. We're not too sure. It is only rumours at this moment in time, but 100% it'll take me out of the loop. I've just not got the patience for building anymore, especially since I think zero build has been in now for around 2 years. Like, imagine the people who have...
God damn.
I think so, yeah. Imagine the people who've obviously persevered with build, and then the people who just completely forgot how to build now. They're just going to get shit on constantly. And obviously that's where the skill gap is in Fortnite, to learn how to build. So yeah, it just wouldn't be a very good... I wasn't very good in the first place when it comes to building, so me being out of the loop for 2 years and trying to learn how to do it again, it's a no-go from me.
I agree. Sweat Dog says, sod that building. Tito says, I'm going to sue Epic Games based on age discrimination. My reflexes can't cope with that. Exactly. Sweat Dog says, do enough at work. Are you a builder? Is that what the crack is there? Nice. Well, I'm not a builder, but I do a lot of admin, and I feel like that's kind of what the build sort of stuff is for me. If you're into building, don't get me wrong, it's not admin. It's an art form. If you watch someone that knows what they're doing with it, woo, beautiful to see it. Like when you watch the very top level of Fortnite, you can't help but be amazed. You don't know what the fuck's happening. Your eyes can't comprehend what you're seeing, but you just know something special is happening that you will never be able to do. And that in itself is beautiful. But it's not what I want to do either. So I don't want to go in and build. I've got Lego sets for that, as you can see with the Home Alone house just behind me. Hi, nice. But if I wanted to play a shooter, then I'm probably going to play PUBG or Warzone dropping DMZ or something like that. But if I want something that has a little bit of its own stylistic, characteristic charm, plus not just its own charm, but the charm of every other major entertainment brand in the world, like Marvel and DC and whatever, all those skins that come with it. Fortnite is great. So giving me a zero build, easy opt-in mode is wonderful. And the fact that it's still there when it was brought in as a limited time game mode that people fecking loved universally, that it got put in for, like Bibby says, it could be 2 years it's been in there now, and people still play it daily. Getting rid of it is questionable. And don't get me wrong, Fortnite does questionable, stupid things, like turning its game off for 48 hours with just a black hole screen while they do some tweaks. How stupid is that? Stopping people from playing your game for 48 hours? Genius. That's what it was. Yeah. I don't see this as being the same level of genius, though. I see this as like Tito was talking, obviously, funnily, about age discrimination, but I do feel it is it's similar to that in terms of it's what's the word? I don't want to use the word ableist, but you're taking away people's facilities to enjoy happiness by forcing them to do something that isn't happiness, obviously related to a game, not generally. So for me, removing zero build would reduce my happiness and means that I would have to play a zero build style, but with the crappiest form of building you're ever going to see. I'm not going to be building the fucking Empire State Building in a split second. I'm going to go ramp, wall, ramp, wall, ramp, wall. The most basic push that you can make on Fortnite with building. And that's where I'm going to stop. So I'm still going to keep playing zero build mode in a non-zero build mode format and just not enjoy it. So all you're doing is giving me the opportunity to not enjoy your game. So nah, don't do that. Epic or gatekeeping? Wobble's ears have pricked up. Did I just see he went live as well? He did 2 minutes ago. That's it. He must have heard it. He must have seen someone's going for his gatekeeping crown and he's just there sat on stream just windmilling with his fists. Just want to confirm, with his fists. Nothing else.
Yes. Confirmed.
But yeah, genuinely though, we'll talk about this all the time because there's a lot of people, and particularly in communities that we're around, because we stream a lot of PUBG, there's a lot of people, particularly PUBG fans, Warzone fans and so on, people that want boots on the ground shooters that think that Fortnite is some shitty cartoon thing. I implore anyone to, if you not even want to play it, you don't have to enjoy it, but to just write it off as a shit cartoon thing undermines what Epic has done with that game. In Unreal Engine. Go look at like Fortnite Day 1 build and then look at Fortnite now and you can see a monumental upgrade in physics, mechanics, usability, all sorts of stuff. And the gameplay is incredibly well if you give it a chance. But even more when there is no building. So get rid of it, get rid of me, get fucked. No. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's jump into some EAFC content, this time written by Vikki Blake at Eurogamer. It says EA Sports FC 24 has disabled the perk that lets you stick a football to your calf. It's a game of two calves. Nice. So we actually saw this. I think it was the first game on Friday as well. My cookie settings. Fuck it, we'll accept all. Give me some videos. So EA has disabled an EA Sports FC 24 perk in order to address a glitch that was giving some players an unfair in-game advantage. The newly discovered glitch, fuck off, man. Just trying to play a video on the stream and it's just giving me pop-ups for anything and everything else, but not actually the video. Do you know what? Fuck it, we'll leave it. The newly discovered glitch in the soccer sim popped up earlier in the week, allowing dribblers with a trickster playstyle to attach a ball to their calf and then simply run into the opposition's net to score. After first acknowledging the glitch was a problem, EA has now confirmed that it's temporarily removed the foot perk to prevent players from exploiting the bug in competitive play. Quote, in order to prevent this issue from occurring, we have temporarily removed the Trickster Plus playstyle from Ultimate Team player items. They now have Trickster instead. EA Sports confirmed on social media. Once this issue has been addressed in a future title update, we'll be looking to add Trickster Plus back to applicable player items. As yet, there's no confirmation on when the issue may be addressed, and for now, EA has only committed to a future title update. Despite that, over 11 million players, blah, 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 in the first few weeks. Questions then. Yeah. They have made a change to stop it from being in there, which is good. We have to applaud that. But it's not been fixed yet. One of the comments that was made on the weekend when we were playing some pro clubs was, if this was something stopping you accessing the store on Ultimate Team, that future title update would have been out instantly. So is it good enough to fix this in that sort of fashion, or what? And actually, as Tito says there and confirms, only in Ultimate Team. So only in the paid mode. So if you do play a mode like Pro Clubs, people can still exploit it. So in the paid modes, they've found a way to quickly cover it over, but the other modes not. Is that good enough? Is that a sign of modern gaming? What are you thinking, Bib?
No, I don't necessarily think it's good enough. No, because like what you just alluded to and what Tito's confirmed, that it's obviously only an Ultimate Team. Like this problem was rife for around 3 days before we even started playing clubs on Friday. So it was a known problem that people was managing to qualify for FUT champs and then going ahead and playing FUT champs with this. I'd love to know the details in the background, like of how many people usually complete champs and how many people go 20-0, and then how many people did that at weekend to get the best rewards, because obviously the better rewards, the better win rate, the better rewards they get. And if like it was 5,000% more people ended up getting better rewards, that obviously affects the economy on Ultimate Team as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, because if it was as easy as just turning off one of the traits, then why wasn't it done sooner, and why is it still only in one game mode? Like it is baffling me a little bit, but there must be a reason for them doing it, because otherwise it would just be a case of they can just turn it off and it's off across the board. Like, what is the repercussions of them doing that? They must have done some sort of crisis, whatever. What's the way they put all of the stuff in it, all the bad things at once, to try and find out if I'm trying to think of the word or the phrase that's used for it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you know, like in buildings where they do fire tests, and it's like a crisis avertment or something like that. I can't remember what the phrase is, but like, what would happen if? And then obviously the problems was there. But for something as easy as just removing a play trait and it's fixed the problem in Ultimate Team, what's the difference of them doing it obviously in Pro Clubs as well? So it is bizarre that it's taking them so long, especially when there's a lot on the line and how many rewards that EA will have to get. Because they can't just say, well, we're not giving you any rewards this week. Because there'll be a lot of people who've probably gone 20-0 very like legitimately, rather than it just being 20-0 through someone doing some sort of glitch. I did see another glitch over the weekend. I don't know the entire context of it, but someone didn't end up going to a LAN event, or there was at a LAN event and didn't get to go to like the regional events because of a red card glitch that's apparently running rife at the moment within the game. I don't know the full extent of it, but the fact that it is now affecting professional esports within the game as well. It's not been the most successful start for EAFC at this moment in time, with this many glitches running around. I can't remember the last time that FIFA or EAFC had the amount of glitches that are in it that are stopping people from enjoying the game. Obviously, there is always some form of near post glitch or corner glitch or something along those lines. But to have
El Tornado or La Croqueta or something that always, or what was the one last year, that not the crossover or whatever. One of the ways you touch the ball just allowed you to fucking rinse people. There's always something that's OP, but it's never usually broken to that point, and that easy and that blatant, that consistent. So when we played that first game, one person tried 3 times before they finally got the ball. This was a team that was winning 5-0 in a esports competitive, that's the word I was looking for, in a non-competitive environment. I mean, clubs is competitive, but you're not playing for actually anything. You're not getting in-game rewards. You're not, apart from leveling up your pro, you're not really doing anything else. So I reckon that's what EA have done. If it's not just a case of it's Ultimate Team is linked to live service, so they can adapt it. If it's not just a case of that, it's a case of they've gone, well, Ultimate Team has real-world implications, air quotes, real-world, digital world implications, whereas clubs kind of doesn't. So that'll be fine. And it's like, it's not though, because what you're effectively doing is sweeping statement across the entirety of the game beyond Ultimate Team, saying that's not competitive and doesn't matter. So if so only where it has a matter, and is that matter because Ultimate Team's competitive or because finance is generated by it, and that's where it comes down to for me. So it's shit that they've disabled it in Ultimate Team. If they came out with some information and said it's easy to turn things off in Ultimate Team because the nature of the game versus other game modes, so we can't do it, then that gives you a little bit of logic. But the fact that they haven't just allows you to come to your own conclusions, which rightly or wrongly could include the fact that they just don't care. So it's a shame. It's a shame. For those that may have just tuned in, by the way, I've called it the rugby cheat because you can stick it to your calf, but then if you do the trick again, you flick it up into your hand. Either way, you look stupid. And it's not just happening on massive streams like twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. It's happening on smaller streams like twitch.tv/Bateson87 as well. So yeah, now I watched Bateson. I didn't see him do it live, but I saw a clip or a story. It might have been one of his Twitch stories that he posted, and it was someone doing it to him. And that was someone that I think Bateson was winning at that point in time, and it brought it to within one goal. But you can see, like, obviously in Ultimate Team modes, it has hurtful implications. But don't underestimate how much that can piss people off playing other modes. Like, there was 11 people just in our actual game, not even in the stream, that saw us get shithoused by a bunch of shithouses that were already in front. So just assuming that because it's not competitive, people aren't going to care is a flawed way of thinking about it. But that's it. Anyway, I always thought it was a shit cartoon thing. Oh, Fortnite. I had a night with mates playing no build and had an absolute blast. Build mode would have ruined it, to be honest. Exactly. Funny thing, FIFA 23 had an issue where it was giving first stage leveled up players and rewards instead of the fully leveled up ones a month before the end of the game. They gave out compensation items yesterday. Not good enough. Not good enough. That is terrible. If you are EA and you are making money hand over fist week in, week out for all of those months, that is not good enough. Just saying it. Just saying it. It is what it is. Tell you what it is, though, is me jumping over to that screen. And then yeeting Bibby, because you need to get going, don't you?
Yes, I need to go up to my mum's.
Yeah. Okay, wait, let me figure out where you are. I can't remember which box
I'm
you're
here,
in.
Graham.
This got... Yeah, there we go. Nice! Okay. Bye, Bib!
Okay, tally ho, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And he's gone. And then there was one. Okay, so I'm going to cover the last two stories because Bibby did have to go. We're running late today, as you can probably tell. But Bibby had places to be, so I'll finish things up. So we've just been speaking about, if you just tuned in, and do I have the discussing now on the screen? I do. So the EA Sports FC24 rugby cheat, we will get a patch for it eventually. But as Tito's just said, they're only just patching FIFA 23 4 weeks, I don't know, a number of weeks into FC24. So, yikes. I mean, you could always argue that there's less urgency to patch things in the last couple of weeks of a game. So maybe that's the reason why they've only just patched it. Whereas something early in the game, they've got more of a need to patch it quickly. But the same level of urgency should be there at any point because you've paid for a product to work properly. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. So, yeah, it's not good enough. You need to patch that shit. You need to get it working now. Okay, moving ahead. Tito said in Big Zombie Monkey stream, who was streaming with us on Friday, by the way, that we don't care about Xbox. We are Xboxist on this stream. Well, that's not true. Let's talk about Xbox right now. One day after Xbox! And that's enough Xbox. We'll talk about PlayStation. PlayStation has taken over the Vegas sphere. Nice. Jordan Midler at VGC says the venue reportedly charges, and I mentioned this on... fuck this shit, I'm out. No chance. So I mentioned this on... I'm going to keep talking over this just to avoid the copyright strikes. Hi, fuck this shit, I'm out. So the venue reportedly charges $450,000 for the advertising space. I did say something. Someone mentioned it on Friday that it's like He's gone. It's like 500k to get access to the advertising space on the outside of the sphere. And they've both done it. So a cool $1 million invested into Vegas over the weekend just to get some ads on this. Xbox went first and then PlayStation followed. I'll jump into the icon now. So PlayStation has taken over the Las Vegas sphere a day after Xbox used the venue to paint the Nevada skyline green. The venue, which is an 18,600-seat entertainment arena, features 580,000 square foot of LED surrounding the building. According to a pitch deck for the venue, a one-day advertisement campaign on the Vegas sphere costs roughly $450,000. PlayStation Sphere ad showed an up-close look at Peter Parker's Spider-Man, Miles Morales' Spider-Man, and Venom, followed by a shot of the cover art. So I'll hit play on this. Hopefully it plays in... There you go. So I'll leave that playing there while I go through the article. Released on Friday exclusively for PS5. Great words, nice. Spider-Man 2 continues the story. Insomniac Games began with 2018 Spider-Man and 2020 spin-off Spider-Man Miles Morales. Okay, I won't go too much into that. It doesn't really go into the story, but it just gives you a general overview as to what Spider-Man is. But there you go. You can see the sphere here. You have a sexy voice.
Hey, leveled up official. Thanks. Yeah.
So, there you go. Xbox went first. PlayStation went second, and I must admit, this is the game that I'm probably the most hyped for over the course of the year. Spider-Man 2. Is that finished now? Nope, it's still going. But I think Xbox did it better. If you've watched 2 side by side, PlayStation's... Like, look at that. So if I stop that there... Venom looks distorted. He looks like he's been broadcast on a round thing. Funnily enough, that's exactly what it is. Whereas if you saw the Xbox version, there was controllers floating outside of it in like an XR immersive 4D sort of, well, 3D sort of advertisement. Whereas this looks like it's almost projected onto a round thing. So Venom's face and shoulders and stuff are distorted. So both good, and even though this is content that appeals to me more, I definitely think Xbox did a better job. Thought that both him and Venom look more round than me after a big Sunday roast. Same. So, yeah, it's cool. It's nice. I was just talking about everyone doing it the other day, and then the very next day we got Spider-Man following in Xbox's footsteps and putting it out. It's cool marketing. It's good to use, especially when TwitchCon is in Las Vegas and everyone's going to be paying attention to it. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more in the way of 3D graphics or fully leaning into it. If you're just using the sphere, let me put a discussing now up, actually, even though it's only going to be there for like a second. Is that too much? No, it's close enough. If you're just going to be using the sphere to play a flat video but rounded, that's a lot of money for a TV that's not perfect. I'd rather see just more television spots or stuff like, arguably, you spend 450 grand, that's a lot of money. But because it's on the sphere and it's trendy, people are going to talk about it. You're going to see more of that. So for your media value, that 450 grand is initially expensive, but the ramifications are much greater. You will get more bang for your buck for doing that, probably. But I just feel like that's where you've got Insomniac Games who've got the ability to make some visceral experiences. We need this to be more visceral. We want to feel what's happening there. We want it to be built specifically for that platform. So Spider-Man having his face warped and wrapped around like that there, yeah, it's nice, but it's not as good as it could have been. Leveled up official redeemed disco lights. Really? Okay, well, here you go. And that's it. That's what you spent for. But thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Okay, final story of the day. I'll jump straight into this one. This one is, and who'd have thunk it? By the way, Oisin Kuhnke at VG247 says, Nintendo boss claims it doesn't have unions because of a high degree of job satisfaction. Okay. Quote, our focus has always been on creating a culture that's inclusive, has a work-life balance, and is focused on our singular mission of bringing smiles to faces. Okay, I just want to stop there for a second. I don't particularly know that Nintendo has a low degree of job satisfaction or anything high, low, middle way. But that statement on its own just seems stupid. We don't allow our workforce to stand up for themselves and ensure that they are looking out for themselves because they're happy. Just sounds stupid. In a modern world, that just sounds stupid, but there you go. Let's go see what the actual article says. Nintendo currently doesn't have any kind of union, but according to Nintendo of America boss Doug Bowser, that's apparently because of, quote, a high degree of job satisfaction, end quote. Given the consistently turbulent state of the games industry at the moment, it isn't any surprise to see more and more studios forming unions in an attempt to guarantee more job security. Nintendo, one of the biggest game developers in the world, notably does not have any kind of union, though it doesn't mean no one has tried to form one before. But according to a recent interview between Inverse and Bowser, the Nintendo of America president, to be clear, not obviously the big lizardy dragony thing from the game, it's apparently because people are happy with their jobs there. Quote, we don't currently have unions. What the fuck? Spike! Hi, Spike. Hey, how you diddling, Spike? If you haven't seen it, Spike has been playing Forza all afternoon, pretty much. So thank you for that raid, Spike. I appreciate it very much. I did set him a task. He was currently, it was first of all, he did a poll. Where should he start on a racing grid of 24 cars? Naturally, I put him in 24th place, but then set him the task of getting a pole position, finishing in first, and I'll give him a gifted sub. And he did. He finished in first, so I gifted myself a sub to his channel. So there you go. Check him out. He's a good watch. He played on Friday as well. Sadly, you couldn't see the creative lengths that Spike, aka Big Zombie Monkey, was going to on Friday because he was on my screen here, and I was obviously not streaming at that point. Bibby was streaming. So in the group call, I had my camera on so Bibby could use it on stream, but Spike also had his camera on, and he had like 3 or 4 different outfit changes, which you guys didn't get to see. But anyway, I'll put a pin in that because we are talking about Nintendo claiming it doesn't need any unions because everyone's happy. Well, that's obviously a paraphrase, but that's the gist of it. So this is a quote from Doug Bowser, the boss of Nintendo of America. We don't currently have unions at Nintendo of America, and part of that is driven by the employee feedback that we see, which is a high degree of job satisfaction engagement overall. Bowser told Inverse, quote, you only have to look at our retention numbers, which are very, very high within the industry, and our obviously low turnover rate as a result. Our focus has always been on creating a culture that's inclusive, has a work-life balance, and is focused on our singular mission of bringing smiles to faces. Quote, I think we're on the right path in terms of ensuring we've got a work environment and culture that allows people to be productive, to have balance in their lives, and to grow within the company. Everyone has the right to form a union, and certainly in the future, wherever it takes us, we'll respect that. But we're very much focused right now on how to create the best work culture and environment we possibly can, end quote. Obviously, this is an incredibly corporate response, as it's impossible from an outside perspective to gauge how happy Nintendo employees actually are without talking to them. Bowser might say, quote, everyone has a right to form a union, end quote, though who knows whether one would be recognized or not. Nintendo might not have layoffs on the horizon, but given just how many layoffs have happened across the industry, a union definitely shouldn't be off the table. And don't get me wrong, I understand this is a fairly non-story. Nobody wants, air quotes, a union per se. No one's out there particularly citing that Nintendo of America employees definitely need a union because of things. But you can't just broad strokes say we don't have one because people are happy. It's a bit silly, and it is very corporate. It's not silly in a malicious way. It's just corporate brush off in a world where thousands of people from pretty much everywhere in the globe. We've had Frontier Developments last week, Microsoft, Bethesda, fucking tons of companies have had to let people go over the last 12 to 18 months. And don't forget the SAG-AFTRA stuff, which is now bleeding into video games too, that people are standing up for their rights because they don't want to be shit on and manipulated and used by bigger brands. So unions don't just ensure that people are happy. Unions don't just ensure that people have a high level of job satisfaction. Unions ensure that people are protected. So to blindly say that we don't need unions because people are satisfied doesn't necessarily mean that they are still being protected. They may be satisfied because they haven't lost their jobs, or they may be satisfied because they're in a marginally better position than they were 12 months ago. But is it the position that they technically should be in? And that's where unions come into it. So it's a non-story. It's not really, there's no real need to be a story, but I'm pro-union, so there you go. Chaos Right Zero, welcome in, dude. Tito says, to be fair, Glassdoor shows a rating of 4.4 out of 5 from 130 new, reviews for Nintendo. Nintendo of America 4.1 and Europe 3.5. Don't get me wrong. For all intents and purposes, I don't have a full scope of Nintendo's working policies, but from being in the industry and knowing a few people at Nintendo, from HQ style to Europe, there is really good policies in there in ensuring that people don't work 18-hour days and that sort of stuff. That's old school, but in massively corporate businesses like Nintendo, potentially could be something that you almost have to do to succeed. Kill yourself to have a life and get ahead, kind of thing. I'm aware of principles and things that are put in place to make sure that people have a life that they enjoy. So I'm not saying Nintendo are evil, definitely not. But yeah, like I say, it's kind of a non-story because yeah, your ratings might be high and there might be stuff that backs up your high degree of job satisfaction. Still doesn't mean you don't need a union. I am imagining Nintendo joining Sony. I think Microsoft would flip every table they own. Aurora, hey! Doesn't matter if employees are happy, companies are not there to make you happy. Any company is capable of giving you a duff deal. 100%. You might be happy at Nintendo. You might have the greatest job satisfaction, and they may not have made layoffs. But one change in an economic situation that's not even foreseeable, let alone within their control, could be like, oh, well, yeah, we need to change economic situation. Our economic situation has changed, so we need to change our situation, which is we need to lose 11,000 jobs. Don't know why I picked 11,000, but we'll go with it. And those 11,000 jobs have no say. If it's 11,000 individual people, but if 11,000 people as a collective go, actually, no, that benefits you, but doesn't benefit us as a workforce. So we want to have a different conversation. How can we approach this differently? And that's where unionization comes in. You don't need a union. You don't need a union if everything's going well. But the union is there to make sure that people are backed up when it doesn't go well. And invariably, in business, you aren't always in a purple patch. There will be darker days. And that's where the strength of the union comes in. Unions, hopefully, you are part of a union, you never need it. That's the ideal of a union. Just because people don't need it doesn't mean that there's no need for the union. But yeah, there you go. Why wouldn't they want an union? I know, goddamn right. But there you go. It's a little gaslighted to say we don't need unions. Everyone loves us. Yeah, I'm just telling you guys that you're happy, by the way. So you don't need to look out for yourselves because I've told you that you're happy. Okay. Thanks, mate. That's definitely in my interests. Right? No. Ubermat, good. Oh, is evening? Yeah. Well, ish. 5-ish is evening, right? When does it officially become evening? Is it 6 p.m? Is that the official evening? I don't know what it is. Tank!
Up the ICU.
Up the ICU. Hey! Thank you for the primer, Tank. I appreciate you, dude. Hi. How you doing? Totally agree, says Aurora. I knew you would. You use good people in it. For me, anything after work hours, 5 p.m. is evening. Go home, G! Wait. It's 11 a.m. here. It's not evening, then, Ubermat. Stop going on about it, mate. God, trying to make it evening. God, so fetch. Stop trying to make fetch a thing. Stop trying to make evenings a thing, mate. But yeah, there you go. Nintendo boss claims it doesn't have unions because of a high degree of job satisfaction. That is lovely and bullshit at the same time. I'm happy that your staff are happy, but I am confused at why you think that means they don't need a union. But there you go. That's what it is. If you missed the other stories, by the way, that is the last story we have. It was a quick scoop today, but we started off talking about Fortnite. Could be removing Zero Build soon. So if you play Fortnite and you're enjoying Zero Build, we play Fortnite, we enjoy Zero Build, then they could be removing it. It could be annoying people like us because we're old and wrinkly and we can't build and we don't want to build. So that's frustrating. What's also frustrating is a cheating perk glitch bug thing that was in EA Sports FC 24. You saw it on stream with us on Friday. You can flick up the ball and stick it to your calf or hold it in your hand and people can't tackle you and you can just run into the net and it's painful to watch and it's absolutely dirtbaggery. Well, they're apparently getting rid of that. Eventually, they've got rid of it already in the mode that makes them lots of cash. but they've not got rid of it in other modes because why would they? God damn. Fuck's sake. So yeah, they're getting rid of that. And then the other story that we didn't have, that we did have, should I say, that you might have seen if you only came at the end, is that PlayStation took over the Las Vegas Sphere one day after Xbox. So we spoke about it on Friday, Xbox taking over the Sphere with a really good marketing push. PlayStation did the same for Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Venom all around the launch of Spider-Man 2. And it looks badass, admittedly. Even though it's probably my favourite game release of the year, doesn't look as good as the way that the Xbox took over it, but there you go. Why can't they just have both modes on Fortnite? I don't know, because they have for about 2 years. I don't know whether it's a player-based thing, are players dropping off? Do they need to consolidate queues? Because I don't believe that's the case, because I can play Fortnite without any issues when it comes to queues. So I don't know. They've had it in for about 2 years. I'm taking that as gospel because Bibby said that. It might not be true, but it's been in for a good chunk of time. And it was in as a limited time mode that people loved, so they built it as a separate option to give people the choice. And there's enough people playing in both modes that it's fine. Also, I thought maybe not. I don't know. Until we get something. It was only a rumour that, by the way. So until we get something confirmed, then we'll just assume that it might or might not be happening. We had a bracket about our bosses in work, questions about happiness / overall opinion about our bosses at work. That would be the same things our boss is saying. Really, you like us, despite that the overall points were really low. Yeah, it's a similar sort of thing. I mean, technically, it's a little different in terms of Nintendo because, reviews of people that have left Nintendo show that they're having a good time. And, so that's, quantitatively, they've got stats that show that people are having a good time there. Qualitatively, I'm aware of people that have had good times. I'm also aware of people that have not had the greatest times, but mostly it favours towards the good times. So fair dues, great. You've got a good place to play, a good place to work. Do you know what would be an even better thing? Is to allow your good place to give people the tools to secure an even better future. That would make you a great place to work. But if you don't want to do that, you don't want to do that. Maybe you're not that great after all. There you go. Xbox boss, exactly. Spider-Man 2 is bloody great. Have you got it? Not got it yet. Not got it yet. I knew I wasn't going to be playing it yet, so I've not rushed out. I've gone with the thinking gamer's head for Spider-Man 2. I've played Spider-Man, loved it. Played Miles Morales, thought it was even better. So Spider-Man 2, I'm hoping it pushes the envelope even more. But knowing that I'm not going to play it straight away, I've sat back and waited for, the 70 quid might be 60 quid next week, 55 quid, something like that. So yeah, I'm cheapskating it for now. For now, I will be playing it, if not before, for Christmas. If not before, we'll play it for Christmas. Phenomenal games. If you're a Marvel fan and have an Xbox, then I implore you to get a PlayStation because you're missing out on the best Marvel games. I don't know who that could be. Don't know who that... Tito. It's Tito, by the way. Sorry, Tito. My boss is a dickhead. I'm self-employed. I've met your boss then. Whopper. Yeah. Unions are absolutely important thing. This just proves it more. 100%. I got it. Also waiting for Metal Gear. Are you picking it up as well? You playing some Master Collection? Yeah. Unions saved my ass a couple of times. Definitely worth the money. 100%. Don't Tories hate unions, Tito? It's all part of his cover. Have you got it pre-ordered, Chaos? What you doing? I don't know whether we've got codes or not. If you've not got it pre-ordered, slide into those DMs. And Aurora as well. Yeah. And I'll see what I can do. Oh, you bought it on Switch already. Well, to be fair, if I ever get codes, it's never for Switch anyway. Because Nintendo are a great place to work. They probably do, but I think as we've established, I'm the very opposite of a Tory. Of course you are, Tito. Tito's not a Tory, just in case anyone's down here, by the way. He's not. I'll have an Xbox code though, wink wink. Let me see what I can do. But on that bombshell, I am going to wrap things up. Anyone that is watching and listening to the podcast on demand, hey, it has been a quick one today. In 55 minutes, we've gone through the pre-show, plus all the stories, because we were late and we didn't have much time. So that's what Xbox code for Spider-Man 2. Exactly, yes, that one. We are going to wrap things up. Please do feel free to stick around, though. We'll find one of our friends to raid. I was going to raid Spike, but he's raided me, so I'm not going to raid him. So we'll find someone else to raid. Please do feel free to stick around for the raid. I don't know who that will be. I will figure that out once I've thrown up the end slate. Just a reminder, though, that you can get involved with with the scoop. We have a Discord, !Discord, in the chat. Or use our socials, !socials, in the chat. And if you find any news that you like, that you want us to talk about, do feel free to fire it at us in one of the mediums. And then we will add it to one of the scoops going forward. We'll discuss it if obviously, providing there's nothing that comes along bigger and better, or we actually do a scoop that day. That's a big thing at the moment recently. But we will add your thoughts and impressions, plus our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time, Mr. Bib?
The next show will probably be at 10 a.m. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. Could be Thursday. Possibly Friday.
Thanks, Bib. Nice one. I appreciate that, Bib. Cheers. Nice. That's because Bibby's not here, by the way. He's had to leave. That wasn't Bibby. That was me using a voice changer, just in case you couldn't tell. Yeah. Okay, we are going to disappear. I appreciate you all dropping in. Tito, Spike, Chris, Aurora, David. March 29, 2022 is when no build was introduced. So, a year and a half. He's not too far off. I'll give him that one. A year and a half. It's all right. Lake, Phone, Ubermat, anyone else that I may have missed scrolling back up, I appreciate you all. Have yourselves a beautiful evening. We may be on tomorrow. I'm not sure. But, if you follow us on Twitch, you will get notified whenever that may be. Until then, stay frosty.